They thought I was just another pretty face that would melt under pressure. Another new girl who would confuse attention with opportunity. Another young woman who would trade her dignity for comfort. How thoughtful of them. My name is Zainab Bello, and this is the story of how I walked into a Lagos office, where men hunted new employees like trophies, and how I became the lesson they never planned for. If you think integrity is old-fashioned, stay with me. You might laugh. You might be angry. But you will understand. The morning I arrived at Bamadex Holdings in Marina, Lagos, I felt like I was stepping into the future. Glass buildings, polished floors, people moving fast carrying laptops like shields. I wore my simple navy blue dress and low heels. My mother had pressed it carefully the night before, as if ironing courage into the fabric. She told me, "Zainab, remember who you are? The world will try to rename you." I smiled then. I did not know how soon the world would try. I was young. People said I was beautiful. But I believed my greatest asset was my mind. Silly me. In that office, my mind was not the first thing people noticed. It did not take 1 week to learn the culture. Men looked at new female staff the way traders look at fresh goods in the market. Carefully. Critically. Deciding who to test first. There were married men with family photos on their desks. Smiling wives. Well-dressed children, who somehow still found time to smile at me more than their screens. There were engaged men who spoke lovingly of their fiancés during lunch, then asked me in the same breath, "Do you live alone?" Very romantic, truly. And then there were single men, who believed confidence meant ignoring every sign of discomfort. Questions came. "Do you have a boyfriend? Who do you stay with? You are too quiet. Are you always this serious?" I was tempted to reply, "Yes, I am serious about earning my salary." But I smiled and said, "I am serious about my work." Some laughed. Some raised eyebrows. Some looked disappointed, as if I had failed an unspoken test. Poor me. My team leader was Mr. Aide. Married, 3 children, a soft voice that could switch to steel. At first, he acted like a mentor. He praised my work. He encouraged me. Then one evening, after asking me to stay behind to review a report, he closed the door and stood too close. He said, "Zainab, you know I can make your life here very easy. I like you." I looked at him, at his wedding ring catching the office light, and thought, "Congratulations to your wife. She chose a real winner." Out loud, I said calmly, "Sir, I came here to work and learn. Please respect that." His face changed as if someone had switched off a light. From that day, mentorship became warfare. My reports were suddenly not good enough. Deadlines became impossible. In meetings, he interrupted me. Soon whispers followed me. "She thinks she is better than everyone. She refused her boss." Ah, yes. In some places, refusing disrespect is called pride. Then there were the others. Kunle, who used jokes like stones. Tunde, who called himself a big brother but behaved like something else. Emeka, always smooth, always watching. They sat together like a committee of concerned gentlemen, discussing loudly the flaws of young women who did not smile enough. When I passed, Kunle would say, "Some people think beauty can replace sense." They laughed. I smiled too. Inside, I thought, and some people think noise can replace intelligence. One day, they gave me wrong information about a client on purpose. They wanted me to fail during a presentation. Something told me to verify, so I did. When I presented correctly and confidently, the manager said, "Excellent work, Zainab." The room went quiet. Kunle suddenly became very interested in his notebook. Then came the rumors. Human Resources called me one afternoon. They said someone had reported that I was getting special favors from a senior manager. I nearly laughed. Special favors? The only favor I knew was staying late to correct other people's mistakes. But I did not laugh. I spoke calmly. "Please check my records and emails. I have never asked for favors." They checked. They found nothing. But the damage of suspicion lingers longer than lies. That night, I cried. Not because I was weak, but because I was tired. Still, I returned the next day, because quitting would have pleased them too much. I decided something. If they wanted to drown me, I would learn to breathe underwater. I documented everything. Emails, instructions, deadlines. I asked questions in writing. Not to be dramatic, I could just to stay alive. I worked harder. Earlier mornings, later nights. Slowly, people began to notice. If work had to be done well, they called me. If something was confusing, they asked me. My enemies noticed too. Success is very loud even when you are quiet. Then came the big bank project. Our director chose me to coordinate the analysis. Mr. Aid smiled, the kind of smile that does not reach the eyes. They delayed information. They questioned my ability. They waited for me to fail. But I did not. I worked. I verified. I prepared. On presentation day, Mr. Aid presented his part and made errors. The client questioned him. Then I was asked to speak. I stood, explained clearly, and answered every question. Afterwards, the director said, "Mr. Aid, your section was weak. Zainab saved this presentation." I kept my face calm. Inside, I thought, so excellence still speaks. How refreshing. After that day, things changed. Mr. Aid was removed as team leader. Kunli was officially warned after trying to blame me for his mistake. My emails told the truth. Tunde tried again to be friendly. I looked at him and said, "I respect myself too much for that. Please stop." Emeka competed without discipline. Promotion time came. I was promoted. He was not. No insults. No revenge. Just results. They tried one last rumor that I was favored because of my looks. This time, a senior woman, Mrs. Okafor, stood up in a meeting and said, "Let us stop reducing hard work to beauty. Zainab has earned her place." Others agreed. I realized then, my fight had become bigger than me. New girls joined. I saw fear in their eyes. I told them, "Be kind but be firm. Do your work well. Keep records. Never trade dignity for comfort." Soon people said, "She works with Zainab." And the hunting reduced. Funny how respect grows when someone refuses to be eaten. At the end of the year, I received the Outstanding Young Professional Award. As I walked to the stage, I saw familiar faces. Some clapped sincerely. Some clapped because they had to. I said, "This is for every young woman who wants to work in peace. Your dignity is your strength." The hall applauded. I smiled. Quietly, today when I walk into Bamadex Holdings, I am no longer the new girl. I am Zainab Bello. They tried to break me. They tried to stain me. They tried to silence me. Instead, they trained me. I did not fight with insults. I fought with consistency, and if that feels like a painful lesson to them, then so be it. Sometimes, the strongest protest is simply refusing to become what they expect.